Now, how do you attract better talent and how do you stay motivated to achieve your goals? Okay, once you have achieved the monetary thing, it's like, what's the mission behind why exactly you're doing whatever you're doing, right? For example, other than making money, why exactly do you have this business, right? What's your mission? Why are you waking up every single day to help people? Is it just because so that you can earn another paycheck? But for me personally, it was that comment which I think people already know about. It was an Australian who said, Rohan, Indians are scammers. They can't just do all this. I trust you. That's why I'm giving you this project. That motivated me. I was like, okay, I don't want that. I want other Indians to actually have a better outlook when they are presented abroad. I don't want Indians to appear as scammers. I want to change that perception. That's why I started UAbility. Whenever I now wake up, this is the reason I look at it. I now also have a reason to tell other people why they should also join the cause and work with me to actually grow this particular organization. And that's why people do that and actually are interested, right? So I would recommend you do the same thing as well. Reflect upon these things. Why do you even exist? Why does your company exist? Scroll down. Then what's your vision, which is where do you want to go from here, right? So once you have defined, okay, that this is the problem I'm trying to solve, that Rohan, okay, I want to make sure that Indians' perception changes. What's next, right? Where do you want to go? So your vision statement gives the company direction. It is the future of the business, which then provides purpose. So every person on earth should make a living through talent. To do this, we must evolve the skills of every human being, which is precisely what we are doing by educating business owners to do the same thing. Mansi, can you scroll down? And what's your mission, which is how do you actually plan to get there? By creating the best educational content in the subcontinent, by acting the bridge between clients abroad and their consultants. And that is exactly what we are doing every single day. So then comes the last thing, which is the principles that you have to define within your organization on how exactly would you behave in order to achieve those goals. Now, this is not just some made up shit that you just put on a Google Doc and then you're like, okay, you just follow it. You have to live by these principles, and that is why doing the exercise which I told about this before is so important. For example, taking ownership for your growth. I've noticed so many times from my own personal experience, if you try to like hide behind a lot of things and don't take ownership, it just delays a lot of process. So this became a principle within the organization. If you mess up, that's okay, take ownership, right? Because just having a mission is not just good, it's also important to define how would other team members actually behave within your company as well. So if you scroll down, being self-aware. For example, I did not achieve my targets. Okay, no worries, that happens. But are you aware why exactly didn't you achieve them? That is very, very critical for you to define. Now, again, this is my principles. You don't have to copy them. I'm just sharing them with you for ideas. Use your own thing. This will allow you to actually do this much more effectively. Operating like a world-class athlete, right? So this is one of the principles that we also have, which is we expect you to actually put in the reps. We expect you to work hard. We don't want talent. If you have talent, right, then you deserve to actually put in those number of hours in order to make sure that you get the outcome for not just yourself, but also the organization. And if you don't have talent, then of course we understand it. Probably this is not the best fit for you, right? So that is also very important for us. And lastly, being radically transparent. So if you actually did something wrong, right, and if you don't talk about it, then it's just going to like cause more chaos. If whatever the case might be, if there's transparency in the organization, right, it's very, very critical. For example, I just displayed a principle that I personally believe in. For I shared the story of, let's suppose, my father or whatever. I'm being super vulnerable over here, it is because it comes from my own principles, which is being radically transparent, so that you all understand what is the concept I'm trying to teach. And that is a principle that I make sure, or at least hope, that my team also follows, because it came from the founder itself. And that's why if you are also a founder and you have some team members, if you don't have these principles governing you or the organization, you're just like flying randomly, right? So yeah, and we are one and we only serve one, which is act like a team, right? That is very critical. If you are like playing blame games, politics, all of that, maybe join some government organization. This is not the place. And fall in love with your work. Whatever you do, Just be happy and do it regularly.